Hi, Tracy Baker for Baker Gets Cooking. Today we are going to make fish tacos. I love fish tacos and so does my family. So when we can't go to Mexico for fish tacos, we like to make them here. So it is the middle of winter and it's going to take us right back to the beach. It'll be perfect. There are a few steps to this recipe, but I promise you that you will not be disappointed and it's worth every bit of effort. So the first thing that we're going to start to put together is the spice rub for the fish. Today I'm going to make the fish tacos out of a fish called hake. I'm in love with this fish. I don't know why I didn't know about this fish earlier. I have never heard of it until a few weeks ago. It is mild white fish that's flaky. It stays moist. It reminds me a bit of kind of like cod in that it's thicker and firmer white fish. You could use any fish you want. Up here in Canada, we have lots of northern pike and pickerel or walleye, and that would be perfect with this. So anything that's kind of like a mild flavored white fish, it would be perfect for this. Like I wouldn't use salmon, for instance, because salmon has too strong of a flavor and it's too oily and I don't think it would go well. So I'm going to use hake today, and I just buy that frozen in my grocery store, and it does a perfect job. And I'm also going to do some shrimp. So we're going to have shrimp and fish tacos tonight. And I'm going to use the same spice rub on the fish and the shrimp. So you can use whatever your family likes. So let's start with the spice rub. So first ingredient is smoked paprika. Now, you might think that it's kind of an unusual spice, and it is. But if you can find it, I think it makes a really great smoky flavor. So it kind of tastes like this fish has been grilled outside on a wood fire. Okay, so we start with the smoked paprika, and I'm going to do half a teaspoon of that. And then we're going to put 1 teaspoon of salt in here. And half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And half a teaspoon of oregano leaves. If you can find Mexican oregano, that would be awesome. And some cumin. Half a teaspoon of cumin. Oop. And let me just make sure that's it. If you wanted to, you can spice it up a bit. You could put a little bit of cayenne pepper in here. I'm not going to do that today because I'm feeding kids, and my kids are kind of sensitive to spicy things. So I'm going to leave that out today, but I'll include that on the recipe list. And let me see here. Yeah, just pepper. That's the last ingredient. So I'm going to put about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper in here. Okay, and so we just stir that up. And that's going to just set aside, and we'll be sprinkling that on our fish just before we put it in the oven. So there's some prep that you could do. So you could do this the day before or the morning before or whatever, or just before. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. And get rid of all my spices here. All right, so then the next thing we need to do is make our coleslaw. So all fish tacos have some kind of a cabbage slaw to them, and this is my version. It's just very finely shredded cabbage. Then we have about half a cup of cilantro in here. And to that, I made a little honey lime vinegar. So, vinegar. This lime juice. So it's about 1/4 cup of lime juice, and I like to use these are little key limes. They come in a bag kind of like this at the grocery store. These ones are from Mexico. They're key limes as in Florida keys, but that's the kind of limes that they use most commonly in Mexico. what you use whatever you can. I mean, it's interchangeable between the smaller limes and the big ones. So I'm going to juice using my citrus juicer. I'm going to put a little bit in my bowl here. So there's about a 1/4 cup in there. And then to that I'm going to add a little bit of honey. It's about a teaspoon of honey. I'm just going to eyeball a teaspoon. Yeah, that's close. And then last ingredient for this is a bit of salt. So about half a teaspoon of salt or so. So you're going to get like a sweet, tart, salty kind of dressing. I'm going to go ahead and stir that until the honey and the salt have dissolved. And that's just going to go right over top of my cabbage. My cabbage and my cilantro, and I'm just going to toss it together. And that's going to go right in the fridge. Okay, the next thing we need to prepare is the spicy mayo. Layers of flavor, right? So I'm going to have about a half a cup. I'm going to just eyeball a half a cup here of good quality mayonnaise. This is Hellmann's full fat mayo. I think it tastes the best. And then a juice of one of those little limes, or half of a large lime. Okay, and then we need a bit of some fresh garlic that's chopped. I'm just going to get that out of the freezer. So this is my very handy chopped garlic that's frozen in my freezer, and I'm just going to break off the equivalent of about a clove of garlic. 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, and a 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, honey, teaspoon of honey, about, that looks good. And then Frank's hot sauce. So this is Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Wing Sauce. That's what I have in my fridge. So you need some kind of hot sauce to make it spicy. And you know, you make it spicy how your family can tolerate it. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon of that in. So start with a little bit and then gradually add up until you think that it's hot enough for your family. Okay, and I'm just going to mix that together. Oh, I'm going to put this in a squeeze bottle, and then I'm going to put it in my fridge. So this too, you can make this ahead, not a problem. And it will keep for, at least a week in your fridge, no problem. The next thing you need to get ready before you sit down to eat is a little bit of chopped red onion. Now I'm going to put this in a separate bowl because not everybody likes red onion. And I'm going to cut up an avocado and I'm going to put that in a separate bowl because again, not everybody likes avocado. So everybody can just put whatever they like on their taco. Everybody gets something that they like, right? So nobody complains. Well, that's the objective anyway. So I'm just going to slice this, chop it into a fairly fine dice, and that's going to also go in the fridge. Okay, the next step is cooking the fish and the shrimp. So Seth's joined me in the kitchen as it's just about supper time and everybody's getting hungry. My oven's preheating to 400 degrees. I have my hake fillets drained of the water and patted dry. I just cut them straight in half, so each half will be one taco. So I have a tinfoil covered baking sheet and a parchment, some parchment on top of that. The awesome thing about parchment is that it sticks to nothing. So that's what is great about using it with fish. I'm going to get the shrimp ready. So I've got the package of shrimp, the 300-gram package or so. It's been draining. I rinsed it with some cold water, drained it, and I'm just going to pour it on top of a paper towel, and just to absorb the the rest of the liquid. Continue to do that. I'm going to get the shrimp ready for the oven. That was just our oven coming to temperature. So we're going to start with a little bit of canola oil. And I'm just going to drizzle that over top of the shrimp and toss them around so they're all kind of oily. Just a kind of a light coating of oil. Okay, and then with my unoily hand, I'm just going to sprinkle some of the seasoning over top of them. And then I'm going to sprinkle, got to oil the fish.
Oil them up.
Just oil them a little bit. Do you want to spread some oil over the
I
bottom and the top? Just pick them up and kind of spread the oil on.
Should I use my finger to this?
Yep. You should. And I'm just going to toss this shrimp in the spices. And then put them in a single layer in the pan. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle this over, and I want you to flip them over for me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I think we can put them in the oven now.
Okay.
So they need about 10 to 15 minutes in a 400-degree oven. They're done when the fish easily flakes apart and is opaque, and the shrimp will be done when it's opaque too. And then we'll be back to assemble our tacos. Okay, Seth, are you ready for supper?
Tacos, yeah.
So there's some tortillas under here. These are 8-inch flour tortillas. I like flour better than corn, but you know what, you just do whatever you like. These are the smaller ones, so the 8-inch round. And I've covered them with a damp tea towel and put them in the microwave for a minute. And it just kind of makes them like soft and nice and So do you want fish or do you want shrimp, Seth?
I'll try the shrimp and then I'll...
So you'll do the first one with the shrimp? Mm-hmm. Okay. Give you some shrimps here.
Some shrimps.
It's 4 good?
Maybe like 2 more.
2 more? Okay.
I'm a hungry guy.
Okay. And I'm going to have the fish. But you know what? I'm going to start with a little bit of avocado first. Do you want avocado?
No thanks.
No? And then I'm going to put some green onions on, or some red onions on the avocado. Do you want some cabbage? It's cabbage. No?
No thanks.
Okay. Do you want some, a squeeze of lime?
Please.
Okay. I'm going to put some cabbage slaw on mine. And maybe a few cilantro leaves. I'm going to put it right over the top. You like that one?
Yeah, do it.
Lots?
That's good.
It's good? Okay.
Where do I put this?
Just put it back in there. Okay, ready to taste? You fold it in half and you mow down. Oh my God, I'm salivating. It's juicy. It's very good. I hope your family likes this as much as mine does. I hope it takes you back to Mexico. The recipe will be on my blog, so you can look at that. And we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.